Hi! Welcome to Stockin' Knit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Knitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 62. Does that sound right? I swear last week was 62. Anyway, could be 62, could be 63. You can probably see it right now, even though I can't. So we'll get the numbers right in the producing.
The powers of editing. I don't understand people who can say, and this episode is called, because I don't know until it's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know until it's over what it's called. But
and we don't know. It's unscripted, right? We don't know what we're going to talk about. What is going to come out of our mouths? We don't know. What's been going on with you?
Well, we had gymnastics tonight,
Mm-hmm.
and I was taking darling daughter to her gymnastics. Because by request, my husband usually does this task, and I do swim lessons. But we were heading out, and we got out of the car, and she said, Mom, a star, make a wish. And I was like, I don't know, like my heart just like grew, and it was just so cute, and I just couldn't, pinch your cheeks, just so cute.
It's like one of those things that you want to put in a memory box and like
yes.
remember her being the age where she would say, make a wish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I did, and I made a little rhyming wish, and I liked it so much I thought I'd share it. It was...
Is it like a haiku? No?
No,
Okay.
It's like, wish upon us... Oh, wait. Starlight, star bright, that kind of thing.
Start I see at night. Yeah.
Wish I may, wish I might. Have this wish I wish tonight. May my heart stay open and full of light. So I added a little couplet, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So, that's it. I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
And yeah, picture cheap.
Yeah. I was thinking that we are one of the few podcasts that, not few, but like one of a handful of podcasts where the podcasters kind of talk about their families.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most of the ones that I frequent, they don't. And then you put out a call out on Plurk and said, who are some new podcasts that I might not have talked about on my podcast, having watched. And a bunch of people came out of the woodworks, and we both randomly, we didn't coordinate this at all, watched Knitting in the Sun, with Elizabeth Quintain Baggs.
Yes.
And she talked about her toddler, and it was kind of funny because I'm like, my son's almost 4, so he's phasing out the toddlerness, and then my 18-month-old, who might be 19 months, and I become annoyed with people who say the months after they're a year, but he really is. I mean, at 18 months, that's a milestone,
mm-hmm.
right? I mean, he's a year and a half. He's almost 2. He's closer to 2 than he is to 1. He is very much becoming a toddler. He is like the yes-nos is what we call it in our house, with the I want that. So you try to give it to him. He's no. And then he started the mine, which you do when you have 2 older siblings a lot. But her daughter, it sounds like, is right in between my boys as far as age, right? So
cool.
Yeah, it was kind of fun to watch. She's super happy.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely has like the yoga presence about her.
Yes, she's a yoga instructor.
And she might possibly teach a breakout session of yoga at our
retreat.
Yay! And so without, just to keep things flowing, even though it's not scripted, I just claimed, let's talk about the vendors!
Yay!
Vendors who have signed up to vend at Zombie Knitpocalypse. We got the contracts out, we got people signed up to come. It's all for you. So if you haven't been out to the vendor contract thread, or the vendor, the marketplace thread on the Zombie Knitpocalypse group, you should totally go check it out, because you will want to come to Zombie Knitpocalypse if you go out and look at this.
Absolutely.
So the wonderful Mary Gale has Spartacus dyes, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mary Gale. She's going to be coming. Sun Valley Fibers, the Fantastico Jeanette. Mm-hmm. She's great. My Icelandic wool was from her. I also have a very yellow Dijani MCN that I want to knit from her. Kitchen Counter Crafter, who is Java Jenny, and she makes the snappy bags.
Mm-hmm.
She will be there. Daisy Knits, who has awesome yarn, will be there. Illuminated Yarns will be there. Sheep Dreamery will be there. You saw her beautiful yarn last week in the KL prizes. Girl Cave Bags will be there. Couldn't catch her update because it's gone in 10 minutes. She's going to be at the retreat. I've kind of heard a rumor that she might have some sweater bags available then. I don't know, it's just a rumor. Unsubstantiated.
Just a rumor.
Susan's like cursing me right now, I could hear. 210th Street Designs, her
My mom.
Uber fun. Love her face.
She might have had a slight in on the vendors. God. She's my mom.
My mommy. 716 Knits.
Yay!
G.I.
Punk.
Yes. Elizabeth Quinton Bags.
Yes, which we just
yes. You get to see this one because you know about her first.
Dancing Dog Dye Works!
Dancing Zombie Dye Works. Yay! She's going to be there.
I just can't wait to meet these people. I know. Well, we've met a few of these people, like my mom. I've met her a few times in my life.
But you want to spend some time with her.
Yeah.
You're like, I've met her. I feel like you're Buddy the Elf. I know her. I know her.
And Mary Gail. We've met Mary Gail.
Yes.
And she's a lot of time.
Awesome. Yeah. So much fun.
We want her to dye up lots of yarn, you goodness.
Because
I know she has bags too, but I am totally like, I want the yarn woman.
She has this blueberry colorway that I love, and I've never put it in my cart and bought. And she's got another one.
I like the Roz one. Roz or something like that from Monsters Incorporated. I like that one too.
And then last but certainly not least is Regina's Attic, who is a yarn recycler that is local to Rochester.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I have some of her 100% cashmere. Totally reasonable price because she bought like a sweater at a
consignment shop or Goodwill or something
Goodwill,
like that.
Yeah. And then figured out that it wasn't pieced, right? That it was all in one contiguous strand. And then, you know, she does like the washing and
Speak more.
washing and swag. What do you call it when you schwack it? Yeah, washing and schwacking. Thwacking. Words, they are my thing. So then it's easier, right? It's more consumable for somebody like me. You might be able to go to the consignment shop and buy a sweater that you like the color of yarn but don't like the style and unravel it and use it, but I cannot. So that is awesome, and we're hoping to get a few more.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Anybody who signed up, and hasn't heard from us, we're doing it in 2 waves, and I hope that we
didn't confuse people
by that. We're getting the first wave of signups back by the 18th. So if you're in the first wave, please get back to us by the 18th, because we're going to let a second wave come in. And that doesn't mean that a spot will be gone. I mean, potentially you could still make a spot, but you're not going to have a guaranteed spot anymore.
Yeah, and we did it in the order in which people signed up, so well, you know, we're getting there. The vendors is gonna, I mean, just with those people we named, I think that you could go and find something awesome to go.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I know I will.
I know I will too.
Other retreat goings on. I think we have now, after some of the confusion that we worked through with the hotel and the registration system and whatever, I think we've got all the kinks ironed out, and we have how many people?
It's in the 60s.
Signed up. Hopefully by the end of this week, I will send out an email to you that says, we have you registered and
official type.
Yeah, like we know of you, and the hotel knows of you, and you are good to go. Otherwise, I will send ones out to the list that we don't have marked off, and you can go, oh, I thought I had done that. Maybe I just got registered for the non-retreat rate or something.
Yeah. Also want to say, still plenty of room in that beautiful ballroom, so please sign up. Yay! And
for the vendors.
Well,
oh no, you mean for everyone? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you mean for like when we get together and chitty chat?
Chitty chats and
Mm-hmm.
before the market.
And we're plotting all kinds of funsy goodsy stuff. So we just talked about yoga because we were both like, squee, yoga! But other stuff too, there's got to be some magic that you don't know about all ahead of time.
We're kind of, I don't know, I want to say easy that way. We're just like, you can know about it ahead of time.
But
or you can watch me struggle to get the kinks out of our hotel registration system.
No, it was fine. I just think that they're not used to as many people deluging them and they'll know better. They know better now. So.
Yep, we are learning.
Yes.
That's for sure.
And exciting goings on today, we had a very awesome designer, Josh Ricks of Geonitrix Designs.
Yes.
Is going to design a shawl for a KAL for the retreat.
Yay!
Yay!
A mystery KAL.
Yes. So you'll get clues, and he said there would be some sort of coupon code for his zombie friends. So how cool is that?
Yes.
Josh, we heart you, mad heart you, sort of a knitter.
Yes. You should go check out his designs he already has out there, and that'll give you a sense of what you might expect in the mystery. And he's been cooking these up, and they're specifically for us / the retreat, and he is very excited, as we are, to meet with all of you. And if you're following Josh already, I know, he's all set to go. He wants to hang out and meet all of you as well.
He says we're on like Donkey Kong.
Yes, he did say that.
So, how can you go wrong? You're on like Donkey Kong. I'm a poet, just like Amy. I didn't even know it. Yes. I didn't have anything more to share about the retreat.
Okay.
Unless you did. We have shirt prototypes out there. Haha, Wee Sparrow, we love your face.
Yes.
And you won't get to see those until we've decided, but
yeah.
Very awesome. Wee Sparrow is doing a fantastico job.
Yeah, and until we've decided, I think it would be kind of nice. People can see what they're ordering ahead of time on that.
True story.
If we choose a color that's just like, ooh, no, that turns me green or something, or I'm a redhead, I don't think that would go with me, or, whatever.
I don't want to look like a daycare provider. I'm just kidding.
That was Steve.
Yes.
Steve said that.
Yes.
I did not say that.
I cannot give you full credit. What else? Marigold Jen contacted me and said that she is done with Amy's yarn and she is halfway done with my yarn. And so hopefully here by the end of January things will be a shippin'. And she also mentioned that she would like to have, for those who didn't get in on the colorways, a coupon code. So you can all prep in case you didn't back in when we announced the colorways with a discount code. So she's super excited about it, and she didn't curse our very names for making her dye so many skeins of
the
similar
same color.
Yes. I'm trying to talk Miss Amy into using some of her BFL, not on a ginormous fingering weight sweater, but for
she might convince
scarf.
me after my recent experiences, but I still hold out hope. I have so many 3 skeins of sock yarn. It's nice to have that buffer, to have 4, so that you can do something bigger.
1200 to 1600 would be the bump, right?
Yes. So it would be really nice to be able to do something bigger. But then again, thinking about
1200 yards is a lot.
I know.
Would you really want to knit 1600?
No, stop! Trying to talk me out of it. Sorry.
Nope. I'm very convincing sometimes. I also had a wonderful birthday week. I should have said that when we were talking about it earlier. Our goings on. My mom came, and my mom is very much a busybody, and so she cleaned my house, even though I just cleaned it New Year's Day.
And don't mistake busybody for nosy body.
No,
just
busybody.
Needs.
She's got to be doing something. She's got to be feeling productive. So for me, a lot of that goes into knitting now. Like, oh, I'm being productive. I'm sitting here knitting something, and she's like, no, I'm going to move your couch and vacuum underneath it. To each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own. And I love her to death, and she's such a blessing. Loves giving the kids baths, and
Grandma Jill is the best.
She is fantastic, and I love her to death, and just her being here was such a gift. Such a gift. But I also got lots of well wishes, and I also got patterny love. So, again, I will be mentioning all of that patterny love when I actually knit it. So I got lots of cardigans. I am going to be a busy girl, and as we said, I'm hoping to use my pattern library exclusively this year. Mm-hmm. That is not to say that I will be tempted away from it, as you shall see in the self-striping section of this podcast. But there's that.
I will say that I had two people that I wanted to mention. They did something very nice, and I really appreciate it. So I have three people to thank.
Okay.
Beagle Mom Knitter.
Love your face.
Thank you.
Angela.
And then Knit Psycho, or Hello Lovely.
Love her face as well.
Thank you very much. And Nurse Kim Knit,
who's coming to our retreat. Yay! I'm working on Manda. I'm working on Knit Psycho. She's gonna come.
Okay.
She is gonna come.
Well, we already worked one person into coming.
And you had some, yeah, we did. And she's out on the board, so you can figure out who it is. But we won't publicly out her. I guess I just did it to Manda, but sorry. Bad Megan. And then we also have our band kits that are being tested by folks that we should thank.
Yes. Oh, Fifikins, who has a podcast. It's only 2 episodes in, so catch her while you are on the ground floor.
Brand new. The stock is rising.
Yeah, she's from Australia, so you'll hear an interesting accent as she podcasts, and at least interesting for us stateside-ers. And what else can I say? She's an amazing test knitter. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
When I do the same things as you do, Phoebekins, I get told that I am picky and futzy and whatever, but when you do them, you're fantastic. So I just thought I'd point that out to you.
It's true.
I may let you
sending me revisions. I'm done.
So I might just let you take the brunt of all the testing in the future and just come along and say, yes, those revisions were necessary and good. I have Annette K. Teen, who is doing mine, and Amanda Sparky Spud is also, yes.
I only chose one very special Fifikin.
Well, I asked people to test read, and these were the 2 that were like, oh, I'll cast on. So I really appreciate it. And we're hopeful that once the yarn is decided, Lois has given us the green light to show our designs on the podcast. So stay tuned, and you will get to see it before it goes live ski.
Well, she will have a preview, so Lois will be able to do the preview first. But it's still just a preview, so when her preview goes up, we will talk about it.
Yes.
And then they will go live.
Mm-hmm.
So, yay!
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and thank you, Lois. That was a wonderful, and it made me feel very loved to be chosen for your BAM kit, and they're really cool. I think the Halloween one was the one that I struck out on, and so.
And I sent her some hoe bags.
Oh.
And some buttons and stuff, so she'll be giving those away and announcing that giveaway. So.
Okay.
Awesome.
And yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, for good donations, I donated $2,013 to the National Women's Health Network. I forgot to announce that last week, although I clerked about it.
All those for good hats.
I know, right? That is a substantial amount to give. In fact, I called and asked and told them about it, and so they might feature us, the Knitterly community, in their newsletter.
Oh, very nice.
I know. I was like, yay, because I told that, I think I pretty much wrote the article for them. The knitting community is rich with philanthropy, whether or not
words on paper, trust me.
Whether or not it's through knitting objects or raising money. So, there's that. I think that we can go on to our regularly scheduled programming.
Okay.
I did not think through my
finished objects, or
I did not think through my whole process because I just finished a sock cut and need to pick up shoulder stitches knitting now. Whoop. That wasn't the wisest thing, but
I guess you could sit here and twiddle your thumbs, but that's not you.
I might be a very good, busybody. Earlier comments. I'm
at the point in the sock where I have to measure and measure and measure.
I think she just measured it. Was it just me, or did she just measure it?
One more row. One more row.
Just one more row. Do you have finished objects?
Yes. I have 1.5.
Mm.
So my first finished object is another For Good. Woohoo!
I love that color. What is the yarn?
This is 3 Irish Girls Adorn sock yarn held double.
What is that base?
Adorn.
What's the base though? What's the fiber content?
Oh, it's 80/20 nylon. Merino nylon.
Don't you just love it held double? It's so squishy.
It is. It's gonna be nice and warm.
Squishy, squishy, squishy.
Yeah, I'm surprised how much I like seeing the big extra ball is making me want to start one of those scrappy blankets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I do not want to start one of those. But seeing the leftovers from this hat makes me want to start one.
Paula of Knitting's My Pipeline is actually knitting
My Pipeline.
Knitting pipelines. Sorry. I had Lois and she is knitting a sorry. Comedy of errors tonight with my language. That's why I'm good on paper, because I can edit those out. Is doing a scrappy blanket, and like people are contributing sock scrappies to her.
Fun.
So it's like
I should send some to you.
Maybe she'd like your Adorn. Although she did say to hold off because she's gotten like deluged with them.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. False alarm.
False alarm. I have a big tote, and I could start my own, but I have no, after the Sweater of Doom, I think I'm done on lots of yarn and big projects like that. Wasn't even that big, but it was epic. Anyway, For Good. Woohoo! This is for my sister-in-law. She picked the yarn herself when she was visiting. So it'll get sent off in the mail so she can still use it while the weather's cold out there in the Washington, D.C. area. And I have a hoe. Yeah. So, this took a while to get through.
Have you tried it on? How's the foot feel?
I haven't tried it on since I finished.
She measures the sock every row, but she doesn't try.
Well, I tried it on just before I started the toe.
I've never had I can honestly say, never have I ever, Emily, not Erin, of Witches Watch It podcast, I've never knit a sock with cables. So how do they feel on your toe? Foot?
They feel fine.
Okay.
And I don't think they're going to bother me either, because the inside is pretty smooth. When you look at the inside, I'll flip it around. So you could see, here's the detail of the cable as it is on the outside, and this is the inside. So, it might feel a little different in a shoe, but I don't think it's going to bother me.
Not much more than like pearls and slip stitches would, right?
Yeah. And so, this is the all moonlight.
All something the moon.
Yeah.
We're unclear about what you're gonna do to the moon, but you're gonna do something. I'm so
into the Bard. I know all those Shakespearean quotes. I'm sure of it. But I am enjoying the pattern, and for all my like boo-hooing last week about it, it did finish up quickly.
Boo-hooing?
Well, I just said that I was wanting a simple sock because these complicated things were just driving me crazy. But really, once I, just said, what are you complaining about, and finished it, I really do like it. And what I did, instead of casting on the second of these socks, was to cast on this straight sock.
I'm a bad self-striping KALer because I have not gotten. I can't have 2 socks on the needles. It like breaks my mind. Like the fabric of my mind becomes disconnected if I have 2 socks on the needles. I'm sorry, I just can't do it.
I have 3 on the needles right now.
Where will I ever get the motivation to turn my hoe into a foe? So yeah, I was wrapping up my socks, which I just noticed is very similarly colored to my. Can you see it? It's like camouflage. Where's Waldo?
So yeah, and that's all I have finished. So I should probably not talk about that and let you do your side.
Yeah, well, you just saw on air hoe, so I've now got I guess this is a faux now, an FO.
Yeah.
Because I've got 2 of them. Ends need woven in. So DP Temple, your blue flame, Amy Beth May's Bridget socks are complete. I made the leg part a little longer than I would normally like. Mm-hmm. Sort of modified the turning of the heel to my standard gusset. Mm-hmm. But other than that, great pattern, Amy Beth. Love your face, as you would say. And I don't know, it didn't show up. It's kind of a darker yarn. Very well last time, so I'm doubtful that you're seeing anything other than a blue sock on my hand. But
it looks great in person.
And it's mirrored. Yeah, and I'll take good shots. And those will go out to DP Temple. Yay! Huzzah! But
she won't make you sew in those ends.
No.
They'll go in.
They will. And I have so much, kind of like you, right? So much left over.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I'm seeing. When I make a for good, I have about that much left over.
Yeah, and I could try to make like a smaller for good, or something, a little
boy one.
Yeah, it's very nice though. I have knit 2 garments out of Omai's, and I love them both. I
really want to get my hands on some DK sometime. Yeah,
that would be fantastic.
Yes, it would. Now, did we...
The elephant in the room.
Yes, the elephant in the room. There you go.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. So, it's a very small elephant. Amy and I wanted to address that there had been brought to our attention recently that I forgot to turn that light on.
Hopefully we're not too dark for you. We just realized that our blazing studio light is not on.
Sorry. That was not recently brought to our attention.
We're not hot, so it's good. We're not like sweating to death. So
maybe you could actually see that flame. Anyway, it was recently brought to our attention that some people find our use of the term hoe derogatory. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time that we have heard of it. We sold over 100 of these beautiful Wee Sparrow designed hoe bags, and we just thought of it as a very playful term for half of an object, mm-hmm. because sometimes the second part is the hardest.
Right. Getting through
Yes. And there's many connotations on the word hoe. I love a playful turn of phrase. I don't know if you've noticed. But
like where my stitches at?
Yep. Or, ho could be like Santa saying ho, 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 or westward ho, or, there's lots of different uses for just that word, right? Mm-hmm. And so if we, in any way, you took it as derogatory, we are sorry. We do not mean it in a derogatory way. And it shook Amy and I to our core to think that somebody would think that we were trying to say something derogatory about females, because we love the women knitting community and the men knitting community, and it's just a playful turn of phrase, and no malicious intent was implied whatsoever. And we will continue to use it because we've got the bags and we think that it's fun. Yep. So we hope not to offend many of you. But that's what I have to say about it. I don't know if you had anything else that you wanted to.
No, you said it. I just wanted to make sure that we don't want people to think that that's what the intention was.
Nope.
Again, I have one of those Ravelry where my stitch is at, and I thought it was a really cute turn of phrase. And same with the HO. Mm-hmm. The half object hoe. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. there's a lot of things like that you know, you hear people say, like,
Mm-hmm.
my big blue balls, and you snicker a little because it's funny. I
or
don't
I'm
know.
weighing my balls, or I mean, there are a lot of really funny turns of phrases that we as knitters have come up with and aren't specific to knitting whatsoever. There are other, you know, terminologies that come about, like snafu, or, you know, I mean, there's a lot of what could be considered offensive to somebody. No matter what you say, something could be considered offensive to somebody. And just know that when we say things, I think our first 5 episodes, I said something about knitters being old and stuck my foot in my mouth like 5 million times. Apologized for it, you know, the stereotype. I was just talking about the stereotype, put my foot in my mouth. Nothing I have ever said has been malicious on this podcast, ever. In fact, there's very few things that I say with maliciousness intended. Because that's just who I am. I laugh at life. I try to find what's funny in life, because there's so much that isn't funny in life, if that makes sense. So why not just laugh at it? So I don't believe that we should be a community divided between the people that say ho and the people that don't. I don't believe that we're not instructing you to say it or not to say it. Say it if it's your preference because you think it's funny, and if you don't, then don't.
Yes, that is all. I'm going to stop, Megan.
Okay. Because I could ramble on for quite a bit here.
So,
works in progress. You said you had quite a few.
Yes. So I am working on my Star Trekkie.
Yay!
By Fiber Nymph Dye Works in the bounce base, and I really like it.
She really wants to knit that bounce base, because I offered her my cashmere and she said no.
Well, it was already started by the time she offered it to me, and I said the reason I started with the Star Trekkie and not a different self-striping was because I actually have more skeins of bounce and I haven't knit with it yet. I have knit with the bedazzle, but not the bounce, and so I just wanted to knit with it, and it's nice. I'm enjoying it, and the colors are fun. I noticed that the captain is the only one with the gray stripe, and I thought that was cute. But so I don't want to. Captain Kirk. These are old school Star Trekkie colorways. You know, because otherwise yellow would be engineering, hello, and red would be the bridge, whatever. Not to put my geek hat on, but anyway.
She just totally did, by the way.
So that is one whip, and I wanted to talk about, active whip. Okay, so Alaska Mom, I'm going to show you some of your progress. I got 2 more little doohickeys, pedals, what do you want to call them, on
That's the technical
lefty
term.
Yeah.
Doohickeys.
And all of the ends were woven in as I went.
Oh, go you.
So like when I finished those 2, I was like, weave in all those ends. And so now I am all woven in and starting on the 6th repeat. So it'll grow. It already has. And again, you know me, so I got all these whips. I'm not going to get done with it
I gave her harassment last week about having so many. So.
She did. A lot of harassment.
On air, and maybe a little bit off air.
A lot of it off air. She's weird. So I am knitting on the sabbatical right now.
Sabbatical. I've deemed it mentally the naked sabbatical.
The naked?
Because you said that it might get worn naked at one point.
I did say that. Okay. So it is the the Prissy Girl base, Prissy Girl Sport.
What is that? Is that the back?
Oh.
Left front?
This is the back.
No, I mean, like, what is this? Is it pieced?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the back.
Oh, sorry.
I understood you, and I was saying this is the back.
She didn't understand me. I know she didn't. I thought you were pointing to the back of the work and saying this is the back. So I misunderstood your understanding of my misunderstanding.
So,
story of our lives.
So, I'm working on this pattern, and while I love it and I am knitting it up, I will agree with just about everybody who's knit this that the lace is not easy. this is not something that I'm gonna like magically memorize part of the way through and just sail through it to the rest. This is gonna be, I'm gonna be looking at these, you know, they're far away from you so you can't see them, these charts for the whole garment. I don't think that I will ever get to a point where I'll be like, yeah, I memorized that. One, it's worked on both sides of the, so every row has some lace in it. And also the yarn overs don't match up with the knit two togethers and the SSKs because, well, they don't. So you can't, you know, it's the way she designed it, obviously. But you can't think like, oh, I just decreased, I can put my yarn over in. You put your yarn over in and then the decrease maybe 3 stitches later. I mean, it's not intuitive to me. Yeah, there might be a point where I can look at it and know that I made a mistake. I've been putting all my Gel Bee stitch markers in every place so that I don't get lost in the garment.
Every repeat?
Yes, every repeat of the lace pattern. And hopefully this will keep me on track. I haven't had to rip back but once. And that was because I was watching How I Met Your Mother and I was laughing and I was not paying attention.
Did that come back, or were you watching?
Oh, I was watching the old ones. Okay. They're like replaying season 1, and I got lost in it. It was fun. And in contrast to that, I was working on this one while I was watching some Castle. Love it.
That one did come back.
Yes, that one did come back. Yes, and I am through the second repeat, and I am finding this far easier than the sabbatical. So if you looked at both of those and you went, wow, you're doing a lot of lace and cable-y and oh my gosh, it's so complex, this is a breeze compared to that sabbatical. And it's just because it's intuitive. I can see where the cables are going to come in,
where they're going and where they came from.
Yep, and I can see where they're going, and you know, and I'm getting a little bit of that in the lace, but it's lace, so it's still not clear to me. And again, I'm not like claiming to be a lace maven.
Because that's already taken.
Yes. And then, yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to compare that
really nice.
This feels, you know, like
less brainless or more brainless than.
Well, what's it called? Is it like tangy or what? You know, like Knitty has those little like
the levels,
difficulty level.
Yeah, I think it was tangy.
Yeah. So you know, it says tangy. This would be like hot sauce or something. I don't know. It's really
muy caliente.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't find it, so why bother?
On air finding.
Yes. No.
She's like mentally so going, I wish Megan had filled there so I could have actually found if it were tangy.
No, I'm done.
You have the internet at your fingertips. You could probably go check that out.
Yeah,
if you wanted.
And I'm done.
Okay. Oh goodness, I'm gonna get to the end of my 1, 2, 3.
And I'm done.
Yes.
And I'm done.
Wow, I didn't time you or anything, but this is a 21 Street, right? 21?
No, 210th Street.
210th Street design.
My mom made that.
Yes. Yeah. Got the beautiful. This kind of reminds me of like the radioactive flower.
Oh yeah.
Got it. This is my Nanook, which kind of, when I say it aloud and in my head, it kind of sounds like Nanu. I got past the decrease or the increases, which were not as complicated as they were on official or at first glance. It's increasing 8 stitches a row like a raglan, but it's all on the back because they want to keep the front the same. And to me, it would have been easier for her to like put before the increases, you are increasing 8 stitches evenly across the back stitches. And then it would have like, ka-ching, like I would have grasped it.
Yeah.
But instead, she did all the math and put it into a chart to make it so that you knew how many stitches in between each increase you had on each increased row. That's what the big chart.
I would agree with you because we both looked at that pattern for a while, and yeah, that little bit of text in there would have cleared it up.
It would have. I mean, I liked that she did the math for me so that I didn't have to divide and figure out how many stitches were in between each increase. But that explanatory text had been there. So I finished the main body. The pattern calls to do the sleeves first, but I did not. A, because I don't like seaming underarm, and or not doing it first, but before you proceed with the rest of the body. And I like picking up the stitches underarm and then knitting them down, especially if I don't know. I think I'm going to have plenty of yarn because I ended up doing the extra small size. I don't remember if I mentioned this last week because we were kind of like fast forward at the end because we were running out of time and we were going to try to squeeze in our prizes. I feel like I said a lot of words right there really fast. But it's supposed to overlap up here and then be open at the bottom. Has very nice I-cord edging. The front is garter, the back is stocking knit. And I did the decreases less fast, so it was a more gradual. I think she even wrote in the pattern, like if it were 6 rows in between decreases, I did 8 or something like that. Again, I don't feel like I'm revealing too much of the pattern, so that the gap wasn't as pronounced. It's more gradual. But I'm really liking it still. I hope to get the sleeves done and have my first cardigan of the new year completed. And again, I hope to cast on the Vitamin D, which is another Heidi Kermeyer. And Bad KLer that I am, self-striping, still in a ball. But I have decided that I'm going to do the Nemesis because I went out and I looked at finished projects. It looks really good in like a tonal. But you can kind of like with yours with the V's, you can still see what these stitches are doing in the self-striping. It just doesn't play with the stripes, like it doesn't alter them in any way. It's still going to stripe as it was, but then you can see the interesting textural stuff. And this is Tangy by Susan Dietrich. Dietrich, whatever. And it's in my Elizabeth Quinton bag. Because I like to call out the people whose bags I have. And I forgot to mention on the Nanook, because I said I was going to say the Gifted Patterns by Annie Light. Thank you, Annie Light, for the Gifted Nanook pattern. I forgot to mention that last week. So if you're watching, hopefully you didn't watch last week and not watch this week, because I actually got to thank you this week. And then I feel like I'm going to have a lot to say once enabling comes around, so perhaps you should talk now.
I have some enabling. Let me see.
She says some because I'm the bridesmaid that makes the bride feel good about herself.
Yeah. I have Desert Vista Dye Works, and I believe that this is my very first. I have seen some lovelies out on the internet before, but this is my first in-hand Desert Vista Dye Works. It is in the NYC New Year's celebration. Woohoo!
And do you remember how many stripes that is? No, I don't either. It's some insane amount.
It's a nice
way more than 4.
Yeah.
I would venture to say that it is the most stripy yarn you have ever owned.
Me, yes.
Unless the one that I just gave you has more. I can't remember how many that one has.
The one that she just gave me.
So I have that one as well, but I did not bring it out because I knew Amy would bring it, and then
this is sparkly too.
It looked like I had a lot of self-striping in a pile, and so I kind of like edited it down. So I have that one as well.
Yes, this was repayment for some yarn she stole from me.
I didn't really steal it. I borrowed it and then didn't give it back. This is Trailing Clouds. Trailing Clouds on Etsy. She is out of the UK, I believe, and it's a BFL, so you know I have a weakness for BFL. And it's called Mind the Gap. And Amy cleverly knew when I showed it to her that it is the colors of the transit lines in
the UK, in London.
In London.
Yeah, so the map that they have, the classic map of the underground.
And these are going to wear like iron because they're BFL and nylon.
Yep.
They're just going to be awesome sauce.
And
TrailingClouds.com.
And I would like to say that my friend Amber and I rode the red line a lot when we were in London.
You'll think of that when you're knitting the red stripe?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is super stripy, and it almost looks like she colored this by hand.
I looked at that as well, but I think ours are the same. So I think
mine has a smudge right here. See?
Oh. So she does painstakingly colors the sock on the label
so
the same on each one. Or maybe just in the ones that are going to the same place.
I don't know, but mine has
crazy pants.
Mine has a smudge on it, as in like this wasn't printed.
Is that the colors of the stripes? It might be hand touch. Oh, I love it.
Very cool.
Very cool.
She said she was getting some, and I'm like, I like that.
Did you happen to order an extra skein? Why, yes, I did.
Yay. I'm excited.
Yay. Stripey goodness.
And this is bright. Like, this is almost muted, and then the Desert Vista Dye Works is
bazow!
And it's sparkly, which I forgot. Like, I ordered it, and then I got it, and I'm like, oh, it's sparkly.
It is my first sparkly yarn. I've never had a sparkling yarn that I've knit before, so.
Yeah.
I do have that. Mom, was mine sparkly though? Are all Nyan Cats sparkly?
I don't know if they all are. Mine was, and it was part of the premise was that,
sparkling Nyan Cat.
Yep.
Okay.
But yay! So those are mine.
That's all.
Yeah.
I'd say that.
I can put the non-knitting acquisitions in there, but.
Dear Lord, you're gonna make me look horrible. Okay, so I had a birthday, as we mentioned earlier. I got a beautiful little girl cute bag in apples, and on the inside there's polka dots, and every once in a while a polka dot is an apple, and that slays me. I love it. She also got me a favorited Marigold Jen. This is her BFL? No. Merino nylon sock weight Yoshi color. Does that color not sing to you? Can you hear it? I hear it. Say, Megan. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much, Susan. You are fantastico. Then on my literal birthday, Yarny loveliness came, and you have a problem when they have to duct tape the package together to make sure that it doesn't burst at the seams. But Miss Fabs had sales. Have you not heard?
I resisted. It was hard.
I'm getting to the point now where I'm trying to knit some of these sweaters that have cables or they have hoods, and I don't have enough yardage. Right. Even though I have 2 years worth of sweater quantities, I don't have enough yardage. The girl who has all the yarn doesn't have enough yardage. So this is her sport. I'm also kind of lacking in the sport and DK weights. So this is her sport in a black watch. The lovely Miss Memphis Holly just knit something out of it. Why can't I? Or she has a project picture. She's not finished with it, of a sweater that she's knitting out of this exact same color. And I didn't even know it. I said, I love that. What color is it? I just ordered some Miss Babs. And she said, it's Miss Babs black watch. So 4 skeins of that in the 100% Merino 3-ply superwash sport weight.
Lovely.
It is lovely. And then this, I can't say that I would have chosen this color for myself, but for some reason on that day it sang to me. And this is the
lots of singing yarn.
I do. My yarn, I only buy it if it sings. It's got to be talented in that way. I looked up the pronunciation of this and now I can't remember. It was
Clematis?
Clematis is how the guy pronounced it. Clematis. And it is in the BFL, her
Have you
BFL
not
base.
seen a clematis?
I have not.
Oh.
Are they this beautiful purple, vibrant wonderfulness? And this is her Northumbria DK, which is 4-ply BFL. So I have 5 of those. Oh, DK wonderfulness. The color just sang to me. Like I said, singing yarn. It did, and I put it in my cart, and I bought it without a second thought. I said, "You are mine." And oh, by the way, I want a discount. And I got it, and it said, "Okay." And last but certainly not least, arrived today after a hard day at work. I recommend getting Highland Handmaids in the mail after a hard day at work, although I can't say that I knew that I was going to have a hard day at work. She had some self-striping that was Princess Bride colored. The colorways were named, and I just noticed that I don't have the stripe names, but she had very cute stripe names. that
Oh yeah, they're not on the label.
the theme. So I might go out to this listing and write them down.
Yeah, because they were really cute.
Very cute.
Well, so this one was like bear's orange, or was it bear's blue?
I don't know.
Because the blue and the orange are the color of the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears.
So this is the Poor Lost Circus Performer, and this is on her sugar maple, maple sock. She calls it striped maple. How cute, Heather. Maple, yeah. Sock yarn, which is 100% superwash and it's 320 yards for 100 grams. So I really am interested to see how these stripes come up, because I got to see the little pools of color in the order in which they are going to stripe. It would be interesting to see. And she's going to be dyeing up some more of it, because Amy and I kind of hogged it a little bit. You got that one as well, right? Yours,
yeah.
Yours, is
this a kissing book?
Fred Savage, cutie patootie little Fred Savage. Is this a kissing book?
Wait. You said... Every time he interjects, it's so cute. Anyway.
And the base is really nice. I like it. It's very soft.
Yeah, with the yardage and the grams, it's probably a little bit of a heavier fingering.
I like me some heavy fingering. Beautiful. Bacon, foot, mouth. We just had this conversation. And then I got, because I have hearted it for so long. This is my first Highland Handmaids, by the way. I waited and let you guys all get all kinds of Highland Handmaids and hoard down and whatever. And so I finally got it. This is Old Appliances. And I absolutely love it. Love it. And this is the sugar maple sock yarn again.
There was a lot of people stocking. What color was it? It was really crazy, like bright green.
Uber. Oh, I wanted Uber. I sat there and refreshed and looked at the clock and said, 10 minutes is up. Somebody's card, if they haven't bought it, has expired.
Yeah, so mine hasn't arrived, but I did get a confirmation from the shop. Like, congratulations, you've been enabled, I think, came up on the screen. So please say it's in the mail and it's getting here tomorrow. I don't know how you got yours first.
It knew I needed it.
More than me, apparently.
I don't know. I think it was all ganging up on me, so it looked really embarrassing, the amount of yarn that I had. And so this was my birthday. This does not count as my January purchase. And I already made my January purchase within the first 6 days of January. And so
she's done for a while. Or she has to be.
Stuff will still arrive, because obviously I've paid for some yarn, like through Marigold Jen, that last year, but that doesn't count.
Yes.
It's when it was billed, not when it was shipped.
Okay. If you say so.
Calvin Ball, back in full effect.
My kids were playing something that was just like Calvin Ball the other day, and then they were like, but then, no, you have to touch this thing, and then, oh my gosh, I was like, love it. Yes. Love it. I miss Calvin and Hobbes.
Make the rules up as you go, is what I always say.
Like, gift certificates don't count, so somebody could buy me a bunch of those, right?
Totally.
And it would be great.
I have one from Christmas, and it does not count.
Anywho, all that, what is it, reward points, those don't count either.
I know somebody that's already gotten to a reward milestone in the first 6 days of Luby. It wasn't me. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't me.
Wasn't you.
Wasn't you either.
No, but I am still hoarding my account money. I have had that account money for almost a year now. It was my birthday present last year.
Was it a gift certificate? Because my gift certificate, it kind of caught my eye. It said that it's only good for a year. So December something through December, good through December 2013 or something like that.
Oh.
You might want to check on that. And if you don't want anything, I know somebody that can use gift certificates.
Well, I mean,
I
have, but I think once it's a credit in your shop.
Oh, maybe.
It shouldn't go away. Like, I can understand, like, the code expiring, but I put the code in and got the money in my account. Like, it's
I'd look into it. I'd hate to see that money wasted.
Seriously, it's like a sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been sitting on it for a long time. And not because I haven't seen Lovely's. Like, it used to be a slightly bigger gift certificate. I just...
She's just whittled it down over the last
Yeah,
year.
exactly. And it's not like things haven't fallen in and out of my cart. But then my Christmas presents over my husband picked things off of my Luby You wish list, right? So then like those things that I was gonna buy with it got purchased for me, and then so yeah.
Sometimes I wish I was the person that could at the end interject the buy. Often I'm jibber jabbering and you're like, bye.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
What?
That's my nudge that perhaps you should say
going
goodbye.
Over. Yeah.
Do we have anything more to say?
I don't think so.
Okay. All that needs to be said has been said.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Ufta.